Hello friends, my name is Alea, a Cozy Crochet Co, where I show you how to crochet the cozy way. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make my latest pattern, the Sandbridge Tote bag. So this bag actually comes in small, medium, and large, and they actually convert from a shoulder bag to a crossbody bag if you pull on the strap. These bags were inspired by my need to carry everything with me when I need to leave the house, but sometimes I just want to carry a little bit. Sometimes I just want to carry like my phone, some keys, maybe some snacks, and then sometimes I need to carry my laptop wherever I go. And I don't know about you, but everybody loves a good tote bag. Whether you're going to the beach or the office or just going out with friends, carrying all your necessities in a cute but fashionable way is mandatory. And so the Sandbridge Tote was born. So before we get into the tutorial, let's talk about yarn and supplies you may need. So for this tutorial, I use the Furls Streamline Metal Crochet Hook in the 7mm size. For the yarn for these bags, I'm using Hobie's recycled ribbon. It is 70% recycled cotton and 30% polyester. I'm using it in the colors 16, 17, and 18. This is 18. The lightest color is 16. Hobie has a absorbent amount of this ribbon yarn in different colors and different patterns, even in Halloween patterns. They're always on sale, so make sure you go onto the Hobie website and check it out. This is not sponsored, but honestly, Hobie, call me because I love this yarn. And I literally have been using it for all of my bags and baskets, so I keep this on deck. If you want alternative yarns, I would highly recommend getting yourself some t-shirt yarn. You can get t-shirt yarn on Amazon for super affordable. I will link those down below because that's where I got my yarn. I actually made the first prototype out of this t-shirt yarn, and I really like how it came out. So for the tutorial, I'm going to be actually showing you how to make this small version of this bag. Now, if you're interested in the medium or larger version of the Sandbridge Tote, then I'm going to link the written pattern down below. The main difference is going to be how you start your bag at the bottom and where to place your holes for your straps. In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make your I-cord via a crochet hook. But if you find making an I-cord for your bag a little bit too complicated, you can always do back loop only slip stitch to make your strap, and it will look just as nice as if you did the I-cord. So you're going to need 5 stitch markers in total. You're going to need one of them that is different from the other 4 that you're going to be using in the pattern. That one is going to signify the beginning of your row, and the other 4 are going to mark off the end of your turns. All that's going to make more sense as you get into the tutorial. Having the stitch markers are going to make the base of your project really easy to go through. So with all that out the way, let's go ahead and get into the small version of the Sandbridge Tote pattern. Alright, so we're going to start off with a slip knot and leave a tail. Not a long one, but a small one. And for the small bag, we're going to chain 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is your setup row. So round 1 starts with you single crocheting into the second chain from your hook. So we're going to put a single crochet. Take your stitch marker that's a different color than the rest of them and put them in that stitch that you just created to mark your beginning of round. And you're going to single crochet like regular into each stitch. Alright, when you get to the last stitch, you're actually going to put 2 single crochet. So 1, 2, and 3. Whenever we put more than 1 single crochet in the same stitch, I refer to those as clusters. So these 3 stitches in the same stitch is a 3-stitch cluster. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stitch marker, and in the first stitch of the 3-stitch cluster, I'm going to put a stitch marker as well as in the last one. That's just going to mark off our beginning and end of the clusters. It makes things a whole lot easier, and you'll see why in a little bit. Alright, so now we're going that, and also I call these my turns. So when you do your turn, you're now on the other side of your chain. I'm just going to continue to single crochet into the chains. all the way down until I get to my last stitch. I'm also crocheting in my end as well. Alright, so now we've gotten to the last stitch of our row, and we're going to put 3 single crochet in the same stitch. Alright, and it looks like something like that. And I put my stitch marker at the beginning and end of that straight 3-stitch cluster. And to end the round, I'm going to slip stitch in the beginning of the round, single crochet. Now all the way around you should have 20 stitches at this point. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, including the slip stitch. And that concludes round 1. To start off round 2, we're going to chain 1. I'm going to remove my beginning of round marker and single crochet in the same stitch. I'm going to replace my marker to signify the beginning of round, and then I'm going to single crochet until I get to my next marker. All right, now that we're at the first marker, we're going to remove the stitch marker and put 2 single crochet into the same stitch, creating a 2-stitch cluster. All right, I'm going to replace my stitch marker in the first stitch that we made in the 2-stitch cluster. The next stitch, I'm going to put 2 single crochet. I'm going to remove this stitch marker and put 2 single crochet in the same stitch. All right, and I'm going to replace my stitch marker in the last single crochet in the 2-stitch cluster. And in this round, it should equal 2, 6. And so for your turn now, it should equal 6. All right, now you're going to single crochet into every stitch of this row until you get to your next marker. All right, so we made it to our next marker. We're going to remove the marker and put 2 single crochet in the same stitch. And then replace our stitch marker in the first stitch of the 2-stitch cluster, and then put 2 single crochet in the same stitch for your next stitch. And now for our next marker, we're going to remove it and put 2 single crochet in that stitch and replace your stitch marker. Now I'm going to show you something that's super important for the rest of this pattern. So if you look really closely at your stitches, you'll see 2 stitches before your single crochet. So this stitch right here is your slip stitch. This stitch right here is your chain stitch. This stitch right here is your single crochet beginning of round stitch. You're going to skip this and skip this. Just pretend like these don't even exist anymore. If you put your stitches in any of these 2 rounds, it will mess up the shape. So just pretend that these 2 don't even exist. And as soon as you finish putting your stitch marker, you are going to slip stitch in that single crochet for your beginning of round, and that's going to end round 2. At this point, you should have 26 stitches around. All right, so now we're going to start off our round 3 by chaining 1. I'm going to remove my stitch marker and single crochet in the same stitch. You place your stitch marker for your beginning of round, and we are going to single crochet until we get to our next stitch marker. All right. So now that we're at our next stitch marker, we're going to remove it. In this stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochet. Don't forget to replace your stitch marker and the first single crochet in the 2 stitch cluster. In the next stitch, we're going to put 1 single crochet. In the next stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochet. In the next one, we're going to put 1 single crochet. In the next one, we're going to do 2 single crochet. And the next one, we're going to do 1 single crochet. And then we're going to mark that last single crochet of the turn with a stitch marker. So now with your turn, you should have 9 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to single crochet until we get to the end. Till we get to the next marker. Alright, so now that we got into our next stitch marker, we are going to remove it and then put 2 single crochet in the same stitch. Replace our stitch marker and put in the first single crochet in the 2 stitch cluster. In the next stitch, we're going to put 1 single crochet. In the next stitch, it's 2 single crochets. In the next stitch is 1 single crochet. In the next stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochet. And in the next stitch, we're going to remove the stitch marker and put 1 single crochet. Replace your stitch marker. And now we're going to slip stitch into the beginning of round single crochet. It's probably easier if you take off the stitch marker, huh? And that's what it looks like. And so by the end of this round, you should have 32 stitches. All right, so to start round 4, we're going to chain 1, and single crochet in the same stitch. Replace your stitch marker and continue single crochet until you get to the marker. Alright, so now you're at your first stitch marker. We're going to remove it and put 2 single crochets. Replace your stitch marker with the first single crochet in the cluster. In the next one, you're going to put 1 single crochet. In the next one, you're going to put 2 single crochet in the same stitch. Oop. In the next one, you're going to put 1 single crochet. In the next one, you're going to put 2 single crochet in the same stitch. In the next one, you're going to put 1 single crochet. In the next one, you're going to put 2 single crochet in the same stitch. In the next one, you're going to put 1 single crochet. Now we reach to our end of row marker. I mean, not end of row marker, but the end of the turn marker, and you're going to put 2 single crochet in the same stitch. Reposition your stitch marker and put it into the last single crochet in the 2 stitch cluster, and then continue to single crochet until you get to your next marker. Alright, so now we're at our next marker. Remove your marker and put 2 single crochet in that stitch. Replace your marker and put it in the first single crochet in the 2 stitch cluster. In the next stitch, put 1 single crochet. In the next stitch, put 2 single crochet in the same stitch. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet in the same stitch, 1 single crochet. Alright, and now we made it to our end of row marker. We're gonna take this out and put 2 single crochet in that stitch. Put your stitch marker in the last single crochet of the 2 stitch cluster, and remember you're gonna skip, and then single crochet into this. You're gonna slip stitch into the beginning of row, and this is what row 4 looks like. At this point, you should have 42 stitches. All right, and so for our last round, for the base, round 5, we're gonna start off with we're gonna start off round 5. All right, so to start off round 5, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to single crochet into the same stitch. Don't forget to replace your beginning of round marker. Single crochet until you get to the stitch marker. Alright, so now you're going to remove your stitch marker and put 2 single crochet. Replace your stitch marker and put it into the first single crochet of the 2 stitch cluster. In the next stitch, you're going to put 1 single crochet, then 2 single crochet in the same stitch, and then 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 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 in the same stitch. And now we are at the end of the first turn. Replace your stitch marker, 1 single crochet, and then mark your stitch for the end of the turn. All right. So for the round 5 turn, you should have 21 stitches. Okay. So now we're going to crochet into the next marker. Alright, so with this stitch marker, we're going to take it out and put 2 single crochet in the same stitch, and then 1 single crochet. Don't forget to replace your stitch marker with the first stitch of the 2 stitch cluster. So we did 2, 1, and then we do another 2, 1, and 2. Then we do 1, and then we do 2, one, and 2, one, and 2, one, and 2, one, and 2, and then in the last stitch, you're going to put 1 single crochet. Make sure to replace your stitch marker. All right. And then we're going to slip stitch into the beginning of round. And that is the end. And that is your end of your 5th round and the end of your bottom of your bag, pretty much. The hard part is now out of the way. So make sure to give yourself a pat on the back. At this point, if you want to, you can take all the stitch markers out. You won't need these, but you're going to continue to use your beginning of round stitch marker. I'll put these to the side. So it looks like this. All right. To start round 5, you're going to chain 1. And you are going to slip stitch into the back loop of these single crochets. So when I say the back loop, so you have 1 and 2, we're going to be slip stitching and cutting in half and slip stitching into the back loop. So starting off with my first back loop only slip stitch. Replace your marker. And I'm just going to slip stitch back loop only the entire round. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch in the back loop only till I get towards the end, and then I'll come back to let you know the next step. Alright, so I just finished row 6 with my slip stitches in the back loop only. Now we're going to slip stitch again in the back loop. This is our beginning of round. We're going to slip stitch in the back loop only again. And then we're going to chain 1. And now we're going to single crochet in the back loop only. And so once again, to do back loop only, it's the same as a regular stitch for a slip stitch, but it's like more in front. So this is the slip stitch right here. The back loop of it, we're going to go through, and we're just going to single crochet. Alright, so I'm going to continue to single crochet in the back loop only all the way around until I get to the end, and then I'll let you know what to do next. So now that we're done with row 7, which was the back loop single crochet, we're going to remove our beginning of round marker, and we're just going to slip stitch like we would regularly. And then to begin our round 8, we chain 1, single crochet in the same stitch, replace our beginning of round marker, and now we're just going to start crocheting around. And we're going to keep doing this until we get all the way back to our beginning round marker. And then I'll let you know what to do next. Alright, so we have completed this round of regular single crochets. This is what she's looking like. As you can see, it's starting to curl up to start making that bag shape. And so now you can start holding it like this. We're gonna single crochet into the beginning of round stitch. Sorry, slip stitch to join the row. And we're gonna begin the next round by chaining 1 and single crocheting in the same stitch. Don't forget to replace your beginning of round marker. And we are just going to keep single crocheting like we did in the last round. Nothing new, nothing different, just single crocheting. When I'm done with this round, I will come back to let you know the next step. Alright, so now we have completed our last round of this repeat. So this is a 4-row repeat. You'll do, so the next stitch after this will be back loop slip stitch, then back loop single crochet, then single crochet, single crochet. And you will repeat that 4 times for a total of, you will repeat that 3 more times for a total of 16 rows. So once again, it'll be slip stitch back loop only. The next row will be single crochet back loop only, and then single crochet and single crochet. And again, you'll repeat that 3 more times for a total of 16 rows. Once I have finished that, I will come back and show you what to do next. Alright, so this is what we have so far. We have 4 repeats of slip stitch back loop only, single stitch back loop only, single crochet, single crochet. Repeating that 4 times. And I went ahead and did the next 2 rows. So that's back loop single crochet, back loop back loop slip stitch, back loop single crochet. And so for the next row we're going to be doing our holes in our bag for our straps. So it's going to look a little bit different. I'm going to chain 1 and single crochet for the beginning of round, and mark it. And so now we're going to crochet 18 single crochets. So that's what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. We're going to chain 2, so 1 and 2. We're going to skip 2, so we're going to skip this one and skip this one. And we're going to single crochet 6. So just single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to chain 2, skip 2, and single crochet 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. We're going to chain 2, and then we're going to skip 2, so 1 and 2. And then we are going to single crochet 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. We're going to chain 2. And then we are going to slip stitch into our beginning of round single crochet. Okay. We're going to chain 1 and then single crochet into the next stitch. And excuse this big giant knot in my yarn. All right, and then we're going to mark the beginning of our row. Then we're just going to single crochet like normal. And I'm going to show you how to single crochet when I get to the chain 2, skip 2 spaces. And I'm not going to hold you up. I'm gonna just keep going and I'll come back when I get to that spot. Alright, so now we're at the skip 2, chain 2, and you're gonna keep doing single crochets, but when you do, make sure you insert your hook through both loops. So now you have 2 loops on your hook, and just single crochet like normal. If you like single crochet within this space, it's gonna look weird and it's not gonna be neat. So take your time and make sure you capture both of those loops, even if you gotta use your hands, and manually put those 2 loops on your hook. It's gonna make the world of difference if you take the time and actually crochet into those chains rather than the chain space. Alright, I'm going to continue single crocheting till I get to the beginning of round, and then I'm going to come back and show you what to do next. Alright, so I have completed the rest of the bag. Let me cut my yarn really quick, and I'm going to give you an overview of the pattern that we have so far. So this is what it looks like. Right here on each corner you have your front and back holes for your strap. So really quickly, you have 5 rounds of going in the round to make the bottom of the bag. Then you're going to do back loop, slip stitch, back loop, single crochet, single crochet, back loop, slip stitch, back loop, single crochet, single crochet, back loop, slip stitch, back loop, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, back loop stitch, back loop, slip stitch, back loop, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, back loop, slip stitch, back loop, single crochet. Then you're going to do your rounds for your holes for the straps, and then a round of single crochet, and then back loop, slip stitch. Okay, and then that's pretty much the bag for the small size. And it's pretty much what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds to equal to about 20 rounds altogether, just for the top of the bag to the bottom of the bag, not counting the base of the bag. All right, so the hard part is over and now we are ready to make our straps. All right, so now we're going to be making an I-cord for the bag, and I'm going to be using the crochet hook technique. You can use like a lucid fork or a cord smith or however you like to make your I-cords. This is just the way that I like to do it. So I've already measured out the end of my yarn to be 15 feet, and then this is just my working ball of yarn. And I'm just gonna make an I-cord as long as I possibly can. Alright, so I'm taking my working ball of yarn and bringing it over. And then I cross it with my working end. And I bring that over like this. So it looks something along the lines of this. And I'm taking the end of the yarn and putting it through both loops. I'm using my middle finger and my thumb to hold it. I'm taking my working yarn now and laying it over and behind, and my end of the yarn over like this. So we're doing over and over the crochet hook and pulling it through, over, over, pull it through, over, over, pull it through, over, over, pull it through. And so I'm just going to continue to do this until I have run out of the end of my yarn. If you want more in-depth details on how to make an I-cord using a crochet hook, a lucid fork, or a cord smith, I will link my tutorial down below. Okay, so I have finished making my I-cord, and as I was making this, I realized if you weren't comfortable with making an I-cord, you could also chain the length that you wanted to and then just do 1 row or 2 rows of single crochet, but you want it to be a thin cord. You don't want it to be too thick, because then it wouldn't be able to fit through the holes that you made, and also you don't want it to be too stretchy. So I made my cord approximately 60 inches, and now I'm ready to assemble my bag. I'm going to cut pretty long tails for the cord to join them, because you're going to be tying these two ends together. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to take one end of your cord and you're going to put it through the bag, and you're going to take the other end and put it through from the inside to the outside, and then you're going to flip your bag over and you're going to take your cord and enter it through from the back into the inside, and then from the inside to the outside, like that. So the inside of your bag should look like something like this. Alright, and so then it's time to connect my I-cord, and I'm just going to take my tapestry needle. Alright, and so this is what the bag looks like when it's done. And so you can either wear it as a shoulder bag or pull it and wear it as a crossbody bag. This is what the inside of the bag looks like. So you can add like a liner or do whatever you want, maybe add a pocket. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this tutorial. Alright guys, and that's going to be it. You now have your very own small version of the Sandbridge tote pattern. Like I said, the small version is pretty much the same between the small, medium, large. The only difference is the bottom and where you place your holes for your strings. You can use any strap making method that you want for these bags. Just make sure that they fit comfortably within the holes and then they can move freely. If you end up making these bags, make sure you tag me at social media at Cozi Crochet Co. I would love to see what you make. If you have any questions while making this pattern, you can always contact me at cozicrochetco@gmail.com with pictures and any questions or concerns that you may have. Let me know down below if there's any other patterns that you think I should come up with. I would love to hear from you. Anyway guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, create something gorgeous. Bye guys.